Good morning, students. Now, the most important topic of this chapter is separating techniques, or how could I separate the mixtures, as there are two types. I told you, homogeneous and heterogeneous mixtures. How can we separate the components of mixtures? First and the very easiest way is to separate a heterogeneous mixture, which is specially used to separate heterogeneous mixtures. Heterogeneous mixtures means in which particles are not uniformly distributed and can be seen separately. For example, sand in water, mud in water, chalk powder in water, in which particles are not uniformly distributed. So in this we use sedimentation method, which is very easy as we mix chalk powder and water and leave them for some time. We see that the chalk particles or sand particles will settle down due to gravity and a separate layer is formed. So by pouring or by tilting the beaker, we can separate the water and chalk particles. So sedimentation is the settling down of particles of a suspension under influence of gravity. Now next is filtration. Filtration is the process which is done by using a filter paper. We put a filter paper in a funnel and pour the whole mixture, heterogeneous mixture of chalk and water in the funnel. Slowly the water particles, which are small in size, can be easily passed through the filter paper and comes down, whereas the chalk particle, or we can say sand particles, will leave here, and this is called residue and the liquid is called filtrate. As you already see in your home, as we filter the tea, we use a sieve to filter it. Similarly here, to separate, we use a filter paper. This type of process is known as filtration. So the two methods which is commonly used especially for heterogeneous mixtures where particles are not uniformly distributed. But what happens when the mixture is homogeneous? Means particles are uniformly distributed. For example, salt in water, sugar in water. The particles are uniformly distributed. So at that moment we cannot use filtration process. So we can be separate them by evaporation process. Evaporation, which I told you in the last chapter, the process of converting liquid into vapor, means we start heating the mixture. We hold the mixture in a china dish and start heating. When we start heating, the liquid vapors come down, start boiling, the liquid start vaporizing, and after some time we see that all liquid will be vaporized and converted into gas. Only residue will be here, that is salt, will be left. So by evaporation process we can separate the homogeneous mixtures. Now next is distillation process. If we need this water which is get vaporized also, then at that case we use distillation method. Means we start heating in this process in a round bottom flask. When it start heating, the liquid get converted into vapors, and when vapors are passed through the tube, there is a coverage, or we can say a jacket of cold water here, due to which the vapors are condensed down, and condensation process takes place. Slowly it will vapor converted into liquid and can be collected separately. So in this way we can get water and residue both separately, but in evaporation process we get only residue and vapors get evaporated. But if we want to collect the vapors also, so distillation process is used, and it is also used to get pure or distilled water. This is the distilled water. Now next is centrifugation. Centrifugation is the process of rotating the liquid at very high speed, especially used, or you can see in your home also, when it is used to separate cream from milk or butter from milk. When your mother churned the milk by using a mixie or blender, we see that after rotating, after some time, the lighter particles, that is cream, comes at the top of the layer and the heavier particles will settle down. So this is the method to separate cream from milk, and it is known